Hi everyone and welcome. Today we're going to be doing a tutorial on how to create a basic granny square. So this is the granny square that we're going to be making here. And the materials that you'll need are some yarn. This is a big ball that I picked up at Michael's. It is Loops and Threads Impeccable Big in Aran. I'll also be using a H8 5mm crochet hook. This one is a Susan Bates, and that is the size hook that it calls for the particular yarn that I'm using. If you're using a different kind, it should say on your label what size hook to use. I'm also going to be using a pair of scissors. So to get started, the first thing that you're going to want to do is to make a slip stitch. So you take your yarn, wrap it over your finger, bring this part over the long thread, bring it back over your finger, and then just pull over. Then you can put it on your hook and you pull the longer end of the thread, and that will tighten it up. Now we're going to want to chain 6. To chain, wrap your yarn over your hook and pull it through the loop. That's 1. Do that again, over the hook, pull through, and that's 2. 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you're going to want to take your hook and put it in this very first loop that you made. There should be a little space there. Put it in, and now we're going to slip stitch them together. So you take your yarn, wrap it over the hook, and just pull through both of those loops. And you now have a circle. Now we're going to chain 3 stitches. So just the same as before, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Now we have 3 stitches. Those 3 stitches equal 1 double crochet. We're now going to make 2 double crochets into this loop. To do that, you wrap your yarn over the hook, put your hook through the center of the circle, then grab your yarn from behind and pull it up. Then you yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, and pull through the last 2. That's 1 double crochet that we just made. Since the first chain 3 equal a double crochet, we now have 2 double crochets in our center circle. We're going to make 1 more double crochet, so we'll yarn over, go through the center of the loop, pull up our yarn, then yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, and go through 2. Now this is going to equal 1 part of our square. We need 4 parts altogether, but in order to make it square, we're going to need a space in between, so we're going to chain 2. So we'll yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Now we need 3 more double crochets so that it's the same size as this one. So we'll yarn over, put it through the hole, grab the yarn and pull it up, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now going to do that 2 more times. Now that we've done that, we have another space the same size as the first 3. So we're going to do chain 2 just like we did before. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. We're now going to make 3 more double crochets. Now we want to chain 2 once more. Now we have 3 parts here. I'm just going to push those down to give us a little bit more space. We're going to do our last set of 3 double crochets into the circle. I apologize, I have to keep pulling my yarn loose because I didn't do a center pull on this ball. I highly recommend doing a center pull so that you're not constantly having tightened yarn that you have to loosen slack on so that you can properly work with it. So I have 1 more double crochet to do here. And now we want to chain 2 more so that we have that chain 2 space between these 2 sets of 3 double crochet. So 1, 2, and now what we're going to do is just do a slip stitch like we did in the beginning, only in the top of this chain 3 that we did at the beginning. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, so there's the top, go through there, grab the yarn, pull through that one, and that will connect it. Now what we're going to do is slip stitch over into this first corner over here. So we have 1, 2 stitches to go through and then into that first corner. So all you do is insert through these 2 loops in the top here, grab your yarn, pull it all the way through, do the same with the next stitch, and now into this chain 2 space. Now we're going to chain 3 just like we did before. 1, 2, 3. We're going to do 2 more double crochets into this same corner. 1, 2. And we're going to chain 2 like we did before. 1, 2. And now we're going to work 3 more double crochets into this same corner. 1, 2, 3. Now these 2 sets of 3 double crochets plus the chain 2 space are going to make up the corner of this row and every row moving forward. Now what we want to do is chain 1, and now we're going to do 2 sets of 3 double crochets into this next space. So start here, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3. So now what we want to do is the same as before. We want to chain 1, and then in this next corner we'll do the same. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 chains, and then 3 more double crochets. We want to chain 1, and then work our last corner here. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 chains, and 1, 2, 3 double crochets. Now we want to chain one more to make sure everything's even, and now we're going to slip stitch into the top of our first chain 3. Put the hook through, grab the yarn, pull through, and pull through the other loop. Now we're going to slip stitch over into this first chain 2 space, just like we did before. So we'll go through that stitch, pull the yarn through and through that one. The next stitch, pull the yarn through and through that one, and into that chain 2 space. Now, this is where the row changes up just a little bit because we have our chain 2 spaces, but then we also have our chain 1 spaces in between our corners. So what we're going to do, we're going to start off on our corner. We'll chain 3, 1, 2, 3, do 2 more double crochets, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets, and we'll chain 1. Now this is where we get to the chain 1 space. So what we're going to do is work 3 double crochets into that chain 1 space. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, and we want to chain 1, and now we'll work our corner again. So 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets, and now chain 1, and then we're back to another chain 1 space. So we'll work 3 double crochets in that. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and now we're back to a corner. So 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, and 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3. We'll now chain 1 again, and we're back to another chain 1 space. So 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and another corner, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 3 more double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and now we have a chain 1 space, so 3 double crochets, and chain 1. Now we're back to the beginning, so we'll slip stitch into the top of that chain 3, and I'm going to stop here and fasten off. So I'm just going to cut my yarn with my scissors, wrap the yarn over my hook, pull it through, and then just pull tight. And there we have a basic granny square. Now if you wanted to make it bigger, you would just continue on the same as that last round that we did. So you would work your corners the same way with 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, then chain 1, and then you would work 3 double crochets in each chain 1 space. So if I were to do another round on this one, instead of having one set of 3 double crochets where there's 2 chain 1 spaces now, I would now do 3 double crochets here and 3 double crochets here with a chain 1 on each side, and do that all the way around. And then those additional chain 1s would make more spaces for the next row, and then you would just have more groups of 3 double crochets. But you will always only have 4 corners, so only 4 sets of 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. Thanks so much for joining, and I'll see you next time.